Okay, so good day, everyone. We're now on lesson 1.4, which is all about the importance of mathematics. So in this lesson, we would realize the importance of mathematics in our everyday life. So we will be able to list down, how we can use mathematics on our everyday encounter. Now, according to Katie Kim in 2015, when we talk about mathematics, usually it makes our heart jump to pleasure. We would enjoy mathematics, and some other would become crazy because of the challenges and difficulties that mathematics would give us. But nonetheless, as an adult, mathematics is unavoidable. So we cannot escape mathematics. We may not realize the importance because of the challenges that we have. However, when we talk about mathematics, it's crucial and it's diverse. It talks about different topics, not only for computation, but there are a lot of concepts in mathematics, such as like from the complicated calculating algorithms that we can use on our programs or softwares, down to the simple way of setting the alarm clock on what time you will wake up in the morning so that you won't be late in a class. Now, Katie Kim also gave some examples on how we can use mathematics in everyday life. So, one of the examples that was given by Katie Kim is when we are giving a tip at a restaurant. No? So, it is usual for us to give a significant tip for every or for the server who gave us a fine meal, a extra exceptional services. So some restaurants would say that there is a 15% or 20% service charge or tip for the service that was given to us. So how we would be able to compute that 20% or 15% of our bill. So with basic fundamental operations like addition or multiplication, we would be able to know how much is that 15% or 20%. Another one is when we try to watch a movie or a series, your favorite series or movie. Like assuming that you are going to a trip and that would take you along 2 hours or 3 hours, right? So what we do is we try to download some episodes of our favorite series. Then we think of how many series or episodes we will be downloading to accommodate that 2 hour trip. So another one is when we calculate our bills. Ready or not, eventually we will be having a home or an automobile one day. Now, with this ownership, it is significant for us to maintain on top of the required payments such as taxes, rents, insurance, our utility bills, basically budgeting. No? So these payments must be calculated and deducted from your savings by using mathematics. Computing test scores is another reason why mathematics is inevitable. So like example, if the semester will end, we as teachers will compute for your grades using a prescribed grading system. So that's how we would know based on your scores what would be the grade that we will be giving to you. So we will use or utilize operations like multiplication, addition to come up with your grade. Another one is in career tracking. wherein, as we all know, mathematics is required in a simple, practical every career in the world. Like, how can we know the progress of our performance? Like a salesperson, how would they know if they're going to reach their quota or not? So by using mathematics, they were able to compute that for your performance. If you perform better, your opportunities or which needs improvement. So that's how we use mathematics in career tracking. Another one is in doing exercises, like how many minutes you would run or how far you would run, the number of sit-ups, the number of push-ups that you will be doing. Uh, that is already counting, and which is mathematics. Now, handling money, just similar with calculating bill, when we talk about handling money is like how can we save up for the future based on the percentage that we allocate, like 5% of our income will go to the savings, then the rest will be for paying your responsibilities. So that's how we use math when we talk about handling money. Making countdown as well. Simple countdown that um, countdown about birthdays. Or nowadays, since it's already September, we would see on the news that there will be a Christmas countdown. So the numbers that we're using when we do counting or the counting itself is considered to be mathematics. In cooking or baking, um, we use mathematics to measure the ingredients, the number of ingredients that we will be using, such as the concepts of fractions or numbers. We use mathematics. Now, in surfing the net, we use mathematics to be able to read posts online. We would see how long, I mean, when was the message posted? Like we can see if it's posted a minute ago, 2 minutes ago. The time is considered to be mathematics. So according to Katie Kim, these are some of the ways that we can use mathematics in our everyday life. Okay, so that's it for lesson 1.4. Next one is lesson 1.6, which is about the nature of mathematics, its concepts, mathematical statement, and its application. So in this lesson, we would try to understand what is mathematics all about. So as we all know, we are very much familiar that when we hear the word mathematics, we're talking about purely computation. But the question is, what is mathematics all about really? Is it only for computation? Or are there any other things about mathematics? So in this lesson, we would understand the nature of mathematics together with how we would value mathematics and its application. Now, as stated by the American Association for the Advancement of Science, when we talk about mathematics, it would require us to have a logical thinking and a creative imagination. Because as by definition, on our previous lesson, when we talk about mathematics, it's about abstract concepts or abstract. It means that these are concepts or the ideas that we know, however, there are no physical characteristics. So it would require great imagination for us to understand the ideas and concept and have a logical, come up with a logical uh, connection in reality. So the appeal and intellectual challenge of mathematics are for some, but not just in the field of mathematics. So whether it's a A student, a teacher, whether it's a mathematician or not, we are all challenged when we talk about mathematics. So, what are the natures of mathematics according to the American Association of Advancement of Science? According to them, mathematics is all about patterns and relationship. So, when we talk about patterns and relationship, that is, we're talking about mathematics. So, as we all know, mathematics is an abstract field or a theoretical field that would investigate the relationship between concepts or ideas without considering whether these concepts have physical counterparts or they have physical characteristics or attributes. So the abstract concepts can be in a form of equations, geometric shapes, or integers or numbers. So these are concepts that we know. However, there are no physical um, counterparts. So this is what is mathematics according to American Association for the Advancement of Science. Another thing is, according to the uh, association, when we talk about mathematics, we're talking about also science and technology. So they've mentioned that the purpose of mathematics would complement science and technology excellently. It means that science and technology uses mathematics for us to understand these two subjects, and as well as for science and technology to evolve to a much meaningful purpose. So mathematics is a universal language in a way that it's not only intended for science and technology. Since it's abstract, it's all about concepts or ideas. Mathematics can have a practical use when it comes to commerce, industries, even in music, history, politics, sports, um, creating medicines, agriculture, engineering, as well as social and natural sciences. So again, aside from patterns and relationship, mathematics complements science and technology. Third one is when we talk about mathematics, we're talking about mathematical inquiry or the way we inquire or the way we ask things. As a human being, we are curious to know something. We never stop learning and looking for something to learn. No, and also as a human being, we frequently face challenges. So because of that, uh, even though we have these challenges, we want to be at peace. So in order for us to be at peace, to have less things to worry about, we try to solve those challenges or problems that we encounter. According to the association, there are 3 steps on how we can apply mathematics to solve these problems or challenging. First one is you may want to express your problems into abstract concepts or ideas, expressing each of the parts or elements of the problem in order for you to understand them, like comparing it to another object, another situation. That is abstraction. Then once you have a grasp of the idea or the concept of that problem, you apply logic, reasoning, you apply critical thinking, you apply understanding or comprehension for you to look for new connections or to check for patterns between those concepts or ideas that you think of. Then finally is you try to determine whether that relationship or that new idea would reveal a very meaningful and insightful new ideas or concepts that you can use. So that is, again, another nature of mathematics. So when we talk about mathematics, we are also talking ways on how we can solve problems through mathematical inquiry. The fourth one, as mentioned by the association, is when we talk about math, we're talking about abstraction and symbolic representation. So it means that, as we mentioned earlier, when we talk about math, it's all about ideas and concepts between two or more objects. So apparently, that is the common starting point. Okay. Once we have ideas or concepts in our mind, we have mathematical thoughts, mathematical ideas. Then, after we have that kind of abstraction, what we do next is we try to associate it with symbols or representation. Just like the symbols for numbers, we know that the quantity now of 4, 10, but we have a special symbol for those. Characters, or we try to do markings, diagrams. We try to create geometric shapes to represent different objects or even phrases. We can use all of this to represent the ideas that you have created through abstraction. Okay, so next one is manipulating mathematical statement. So after you have created abstraction and you're able to select appropriate symbols for representation, then the next thing that we do is we try to manipulate those abstraction. We try to combine variety of ways on how we can write rules or numbers based on the guidelines that was given to us. Typically, these statements conveys new information. When we manipulate, we try to create something new based on the existing things that we know. Okay, so that's how we manipulate. Just for example, the number 10. We all know that when we have that number, we're talking about 10 quantities or 10 pieces or 10 objects. However, we can rewrite 10 in many different ways. Like we can have 9 plus 1, 5 plus 5, 5 times 2, 100 divided by 10. So that's how you manipulate from a single value or a single idea. You try to expound or expand it so that you can learn more things about that particular number or particular idea. Okay. Now, after you are able to manipulate, or after you are able to discover new concepts and ideas, the next thing is application. You apply what you have learned. Okay. A thing can be represented mathematically in a way that it provides insights about the actual object. It can create any mathematical relationship by modifying or manipulating the abstracts that you have ascertained or think of. For instance, applying the concepts of 10 in different problems. Like you have different problems, but we're talking about number 10 alone. But you have different ways on how to write number 10. Okay, now please remember, learning will not will not happen if there is no application of the concepts of the or ideas that you already know. Knowing them is not learning, but applying what you have know is considered to be learning. So whenever you try to manipulate things to discover new ideas, apply them. In that way, you would know if those concepts that you discovered are good enough or there are needs to be improved or additional information that needs to be involved. Okay, so again, these are the different natures when we talk about mathematics. patterns and relationship, math, science, and technology, mathematical inquiry, abstraction and symbolic representation, manipulating math statements, and even application. Okay. So next one is the role of mathematics in some discipline. So in this lesson, we'll talk about the use of mathematics in different subjects. So there are actually quite few or subjects that we can deal with, but these are only practical examples. So there are different approaches when we talk about mathematics. Just like in physical sciences, the way we understand the law of physics, the computation part, wherein we compute for the speed, the velocity, quantum mechanics, we use mathematics for that. That's why we have a concept of thermometers, converting scales, that how mathematics works when it comes to physical sciences. In chemistry, we have used mathematics to develop concepts or innovations like the IR and MNR that can be used to identify different spectrums or spectras. In biochemistries, the way that we can combine chemicals that we can use for medicine that is not harmful to us. In biological sciences, we use mathematics in the field of genetics, ecology, neurophysiology, development of computer softwares that would be able to create images of the human body, like the X-rays, the CT scans, um, understanding different diseases, and many more. In engineering, we use mathematics or engineering and technology uh, as a subject. They're teaching how to do surveying, leveling, or designing or estimating constructions, like the strength of the material. How would you compute for that so that the given building will not collapse easily? In agriculture, we use mathematics to measure land area, average investments and spending, return of revenue or revenues, productions per unit, and many more. Labor cost, time, work requirements, seed rate, and many more. In economics, we use mathematics to have computations to understand consumers, distributors, and producers, and all key players in the economy. Then in psychology, we use mathematics to we are being taught on how we can measure the IQ level of an individual, the emotional aspects of an individual using a certain tool or a certain instrument. In actuarial and insurance finance, we use mathematics to do projections, like projections on financial risk, future financial results, investments, banking and stock market. So we use mathematics to understand those. In the field of architecture, we use mathematics to conduct surveys, uh, where to dig the next possible significant site for artifacts or fossils. So that's how we use mathematics. In logic, we use mathematical logic to explain things, whether they are correct or they are incorrect, true or false. So we have symbolic logic for that. In music, we use mathematics to measure harmonies, measure the beats or the notes that we will be using. So they are being taught on doing that. In arts, as we have discussed previously, like the application of the golden ratio, as well as measurements, figures or shapes, we use mathematics. In philosophy, we use mathematics to develop philosophical thoughts that are very apt. But by the great educationist Herbert, when we talk about math, we're talking about uh, the words or how mathematics influence intellect by distinguishing reality and fiction. Social networks, we use algorithms, text analysis, graph theory. We are being taught on how to use multi-dimensional scaling, cluster analysis, and many more. In politics, we use mathematics to examine historical election results, to understand various factors about voting preferences. In language, we use mathematics, or mathematics is being used when we talk about machine learning or machine languages. So we all know that linguistics would require information theory, mathematical biology, uh, literacy research, and many more. In management, mathematics is taught in a way that it would manage or conduct mathematical models to analyze different difficulties like hospital problems, public health, pollution, education, and many more. Then in computers, the concepts of linear algebra, cryptography, uh, number theory, encryptions are being taught in the field of computer. In the field of geography, uh, when we talk about mathematics, we're talking about explaining the dimensions and magnitude of the Earth or the position in the universe, as well as the formation of day and nights, lunar and solar eclipse, latitude and longitude, maximum and minimum rainfall, and many more. So these are the things that are the application of mathematics in various fields. Okay. Lastly is how do we use mathematics in different courses? So, as mentioned, every person should have a good knowledge of mathematics because as a human activity, in order for us to appreciate it, we should have a deep understanding in mathematics. Mathematics has an influence not only to you as students, but also to us workers or to ordinary people, even in a common society. So in a long term, when we talk about mathematics, it has an impact to everyone. So mathematics is being used daily by professionals on their job or work. So as mentioned, mathematics is valued as a human pursuit because of the ideas and concepts that can be used by experts and ordinary people in their home, workplace, laboratory, markets, and in any other places, even in schools. So Mark Karadimos gave some list of how do professionals use mathematics. One of which are accountants. So accountants play a big role when it comes to business because they compute for taxes, financial statements, and planning for the future. Okay. So agriculturalists assess how much fertilizers, insecticides, and water are needed. Architects develop structures for structural integrity and beauty. Biologists and chemists study nature in order to act in the uh, interest of humans, as well as methods on how we can preserve the environment, like cleaning water, managing trashes, developing superconductors, and many more. Computer programmers, on the other hand, develops complex sets of instruction for the programs or softwares that can be used by humans. like the algorithms on the laptops or cell phones that we're using. In engineers, creates, designs, stressed systems such as automobiles, buildings, computers, machineries, planes, and many more. Geologist employs mathematical model to locate oil and investigate earthquake. On the other hand, meteorologists anticipate weather forecasts for farmers, pilots, holiday makers, and many more. Lawyers convoluted logic to provide their points or use logic. Managers manage schedules, monitor employee performance, and assess their productivity. Doctors and nurses grasp human body dynamics, investigate illnesses, carefully administer appropriate amount of medication. Uh, Nurses follows specific instruction from the doctor, uh, like altering the intravenous drip rates, assess assess vitals, distribute medicine, and many more. In military personnel do a wide range of tasks. That includes from aircraft maintenance, following protocols, linear programming, uh, uh, being a tactician. Politicians, on the other hand, contributes to the resolution of today's societal issues. So they passes law, they create laws basing on what is needed, public opinions, budget hearings or budgetary constraints, and many more. Now, uh, because of that, mathematics is the only language that all human, regardless of culture, religion, and gender, understand. So whether you're a Catholic, you're a Christian, whether you're a male or female, we all know mathematics. Because of that, mathematics is a wonderful help in all of our actions in the world and deserves a lot of credit. So everyone should understand mathematics because it helps us organize and uh, understand patterns and regularities. It gives us the opportunity to predict the behavior of nature and phenomena in the world so that we can be ready. It helps us control nature and occurrences in the world for our own ends. And lastly, we all know that mathematics has numerous application in the world, making it indispensable. Okay, so that is mathematics and the use of mathematics. I hope you've learned something from me today, and thank you so much for listening. Have a great day.